Hello students, hope you are doing good. So in this lecture we'll be just seeing the demonstration of a simple login form using Swing. So as we have covered the topic Swing and the libraries of the Swing class, so we will just see a program. This program I had given you in your assignment, in a lab assignment also, and some of the students are facing a bit problems. So I'll just cover those problems in this particular tutorial. So here what I have done, I have just created a class. Okay, a login credential class has been created, and that extends JFrame. Okay, so as I'm using now Swing, so for Swing I've told you that the J is the prefix, okay, before the frame, and it implements the action listener because we are just doing some event handling type of task. So you have to import certain classes, certain packages in your program, that is the awt.event for event handling and the javax for the Swing APIs. And also I have just imported AWT. Okay, so it will just, you will just see, okay, the use of this particular package in this particular example. So what I have used, I have just created a label, JLabel, and I've created a label for the username because the form will look like it will have a label for a username and a text field corresponding to that particular label, a label for a password and a text field corresponding to this particular password. And again I have just created a text field that will reflect whether your login is success or not. So this small example I have just given you in your assignment. So let's see how we will proceed it, and you will just, okay, you will just create, you will recreate this example as per your choice. Okay, you can implement some more components in it. You can just make it some like you can just hide the password field with the help of certain features of this Swing class. So this is the text field one, which contains, okay, which contains the length for this text field, and similarly tf2 is the text field second, that is corresponding to the password field, and tf3 is the text field for this particular, okay, status, whether the login is success or not. So I have just created a button, that is b1, and it says that it is a login button. Okay, so the label for this button is a login. Now we have created a login credential type of constructor in which we have set a title. Okay, so we can set the title for our page. So when we just execute the program, so a form will be displayed and it is a title. Okay, it is a title that says that the name of your form is login page. Now what we are doing, we are just adding the components. Okay, so the components are being added here. The components are being added. Okay, so we have just added this label, we have added the text field corresponding to this, we have added label 2, the corresponding text field to this particular label, we have added this button b1, the corresponding text field 3, in which we will just get the result. We have just set the size of this particular frame. Okay, so you can set it anything as you like. This is the width and the height we have just passed as the parameters. The layout we have set is the new flow layout. You can also make this layout as null. Okay, and you can also set your own bounds for the components. So you know that how to set the bounds. So for setting the bounds, as I have told you in the AWT lecture, there is a method that is set bounds, and in that particular method there are four parameters that you have to pass. Okay, so there are four coordinates x, y, okay, that belongs to the leftmost, okay, coordinate from the left, and the topmost coordinate from the, okay, upper, and the width and the height of that particular component. Also you just make this visibility of the form or the frame as true, because if this particular visibility is not set as true, then you will not be able to see the particular form on your screen. This statement is very important, as I have told you that you have to register. Okay, so we are just registering the component. Okay, we are just registering to this component, the instance of our class. So our class object is being registered to this button component, because as we will just click the button, so some event must be generated. So button v1 is the source for that particular event in which we have to register. Okay, so we are just registering the current object, okay, of our class. So this is the next is the set default close operation. Okay, so when you just click that particular, okay, cross button on the particular window, so it will, the operation will be closed and the process will be closed. So in AWT you have just seen that this particular set default close operation is not present, and when you just close the window, so it is not closing. So you have to just override the certain methods and you have to implement window listener interface. Okay, so now here we are not implementing any window listener interface, but this Swing API has provided us the facility to use this method, that is the set default close operation. Okay, so now we'll just using this, and what we are now doing, that is the important task. Now we have to perform the action. Okay, so this action performed is a method. Okay, this is the abstract method of which interface of the action listener interface. So now we are just overriding. Okay, so this is basically, okay, we are just overriding the method of action listener. Okay, that is the action listener interface. So here just we are overriding the method, and in which we have passed an action event, and this object will be taken from the button component. Okay, as soon as the button will generate an event, so an object will be thrown and it will be just, okay, decoded by this. It will be floated to this particular action event, okay, argument. So now what we have done, our main task is, now we have to set and we have to get something. So first of all, as we have to input, so when we will input something, okay, so it will be in the form of a string. So we'll just, okay, store that particular string. Okay, we'll just input it with the help of a method, that is the get text method. Okay, so that get text method is the method of that particular jtext field. Okay, and this particular get text will just take the input in the form of a string and it will just save it in this particular variable of type string. So I have just created a string type of variable, and the particular username will be just stored in this particular string. Similarly, okay, so this is for username. Okay, so this is for username. We are just entering the username. We are taking the input from the keyboard in that particular text field with the help of this get text method, and it will return a string. And similarly, we are just taking an input, okay, from this get text, okay, because we are writing in the text field. So this get text method will be responsible for this particular task, and it will return a string that will be saved in string 2, and this is for password. Okay, so now the important task. Okay, now there is only one source. Okay, there is only one button, so we can use it or we can also neglect this particular statement. Okay, because there is only one button, but it's important to use the get source method, because if we have n number of components in our particular form, then it is very useful, because it will, okay, it will fetch the source at which the event has occurred. So here this will return the source where the event has occurred. So if the get source is equal to double equal to b1, so if the event has occurred at b1, so if we are clicking the b1 button, so it means the event has occurred at b1. So it is just mapping this particular event. So again we have just written the condition that if s1 double equals to admin and s2 double equals to user. So it means that if the string contains the admin and if the string s2 contains the user, so if the username is admin, okay, and the password is user, so it will set the text, okay, in the corresponding text field tf3 that we have created, that it is a success. It means now, it means the credentials have been verified. So it means the credentials, okay, has been successfully verified. So if the credentials are verified, then absolutely it will just return that it is a success, and this particular message will be displayed on that text field 3. And if this condition is false, and if for example the username is not admin and the password is not admin, then this particular statement must be reflected. It means then in the particular text field, this particular statement, this particular message must appear that login failed and you have to try again. So this is a simple example, in which you have to just map the condition with the help of the particular source of the event, and if the condition is fulfilled, if the credentials are fulfilled, it means some message must be reflected that it is a success. And if the credentials are not fulfilled, if the credentials are not fulfilled, it means that you have to try again. So this is a smaller program. Now you have to create a main in which you have to just invoke the object of this login credential, and as soon as the object of this login credential is invoked, the corresponding constructor will be invoked, and you will just see the particular frame. So we'll just try to run this program and see what happens. So here we just try to run this program, and it says that there is some compilation problem. Let's see. So the problem is here, we have just commented this particular brace. So again we just compile this and let's check whether our program is working or not. So now it is working successfully. You can see that this particular login page has been displayed, and the title is the login page, that we have set, and this particular menu bar is also there. This is the label for the username and the text field corresponding to this username, the password label and the corresponding text field TF2 for this particular password label, and this is the text field 3 in which we'll be just getting the result whether our result is a success or it is a failure. And this is the login button, that will generate an event. So if I write, if we have to write the password, first of all we have to write the username. If the username is admin, as we have mentioned is as admin, and if the password is user, so let's see what happens. And if I press this, so it says that login failed. The condition is not fulfilling. I am just writing admin here, admin, and the string 2, that is the password as user 2, but it says that login failed. So it means that there is some problem in our program. So let's try to resolve the problem. I am just committing a mistake here, and this mistake is also committed by some of the students, that are getting this as login failed. So what we are doing, we are just comparing the references, we are not comparing the string in this case. So what we have to do, we have to just write s1 dot equals, we have to write s1 dot equals, and inside this we have to write admin, and s2 dot equals, and inside this we have to write this user. So now let's see, this is closed. So if I am writing s1 double equals to admin and s2 double equals to user, so it is comparing the references, it is not comparing the string. So for comparison of a string, we have to use the method that is equals method, that is the method of the string. So let's try to run this now, and let's see. So now let's see, the username is admin and the password is user. So if I click, so now it says that it's a success. Now this program is working successfully. So if the credentials are, for example, not so let's see what I'm trying. Let us suppose I write some credential like ABCD, and let us suppose anything. Okay, it is anything. I'm just checking whether it is reflecting the same message or it is reflecting the message that says login field, because now the message must be displayed that login field, because we have put the string that is not matching with the string that we have written in the program. Okay, so now it says that login failed, try again. It means now the program is correct, the logic is correct, and the flow of the program is correct. But now, okay, the problem is then that when you are just create this particular login form, then you must have seen in different login forms then that if the particular username and the password is not mapped, then a particular dialog box is appeared. Okay, a particular dialog box appears and it says this particular message. The particular message is reflected in the particular dialog box, not in the text field. Okay, so text field, creating, displaying a message in the text field is not a good practice. Now we have to go beyond to this particular component and we have to use another component, okay, another thing, that is a dialog box. So we have to invoke the dialog box in our program. So now what we have to do, we have to use a dialog box in a program. Okay, that is a good programming practice, that if the username and the password is mapped, then a dialog box must appear that says that login is success, and if it is not mapped, then it says the login is failed. So in spite of using this text box, now we will focus on the dialog box. So what we have to do, okay, so there is a class in this swing, okay, that is the J option pane class, that is the J option, okay, pane. So this provides the dialog box. Okay, this provides the methods for the dialog box, and it will help, this particular class will help to create different types of, okay, messages and different types of, okay, dialog boxes that contains the messages that is pertaining to your problem. So it is used to provide standard dialog boxes such as a message dialog box, a confirm dialog box, input dialog box, etc. Okay, so what we will do, we'll just write a J option pane dot, and here you can say, you just press, okay, you just press this dot and you just see there are different methods and there are different properties pertaining to this J option pane. So we are more interested in dialog. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll just press S. Okay, so as soon as we have just press S, so there are, you can see different dialog boxes, show confirm dialog, okay, show input dialog, but we are more interested in show message dialog. Okay, because we have to just show the message that what has happened when we have just, okay, when we have just written the username and the admin as correct username or admin name, and when we have just typed it as some different that is not present in our program. So what particular dialog box must be reflected and what it contains. So we are more interested in this message dialog box. So there are different types of dialog boxes. So what we have to do, we have to use message dialog box. Okay, so this is show message dialog box. Okay, so here you can say, now you can see here it says the parent component and the message. So there are two arguments that you have to pass. The parent component is the frame. Okay, so you have to just pass the reference to this frame here. So the reference to the frame is this, the parent component in which this particular dialog box will appear. Okay, so this is the component. So the parent component is the frame, because on this frame this dialog box will appear. And the message, that what is the message you want to just place in this particular dialog box. So you can just type login successful. So this is the message that you want to just fill inside this. Okay, so similar way you can just copy paste this here also. Okay, and here you can just write login unsuccessful. Okay, and just just delete this particular statement now. Now let's try to run this and let's see what happens. So here we just try to write admin as the username and the password as the user, and when I just click this, so here you can see a dialog box is now visible on this current frame. Okay, this dialog box is visible on this current frame that contains a message, because this is a message dialog box. Okay, so here is it is written a message, and the message that we have written that this is the login successful. Okay, so just click OK. And again I'm just showing that what if we are just writing the different username and password, and what will happen. So we'll just also see the if this condition is not, this method, okay, if this condition is not true, so what will happen. So if I write, let us suppose ABC and XYZ, and if I try to just create this, okay, so it says that login unsuccessful. Okay, so a dialog box appears that says, that reflects the message that we have just inserted in this particular dialog box, that login is unsuccessful. Okay, so in this way you have to proceed your task. Okay, so you have just seen this type of thing in different login forms and different forms that you came across. So we will just use J option pane that provides the facility for different types of dialog boxes. I hope this is clear now. So now what you can do, you can also, okay, create some buttons. For example, you create a reset button here, and when you create, you just click this particular reset button, so a dialog box must appear here that says, are you confirm, and it contains yes, no and cancel, three buttons. Okay, so try to develop certain things, certain more components that will enhance your skills. Try to hide this password. Okay, so use something that the password must not be visible to others, so this XYZ must be hidden. Just hide it with some characters. You can do, okay, it very well with the help of this swing class, because it gives us the features to do the same. So thanks, stay fit, stay healthy.